The Chicago Bears fall to the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 24-17 to drop to 1-1 on the preseason, but more importantly, Tyson Bagent, our UDFA quarterback out of Shepherd, looked pretty good today in this matchup. I should say yesterday, actually, because I'm recording this on Sunday. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears post-game reaction video, which I'll be doing after every single preseason, regular season, and postseason game as well if we make it. So subscribe to my channel if you guys want my thoughts and my opinions on every single Bears game. But sorry this video's out for you guys kind of late. I actually went to my good friend's wedding last night, so I could not watch this game last night. I watched a replay today, and I watched like the condensed replay, so I got all the plays, majority of the plays. So I do have a good grasp of what happened in this game, but I did not watch it live. I think honestly the first Bears game in many years I've actually missed, including preseason games as well. I mean, I'm a diehard fan, you guys know, so like I watch every single game. Did not watch yesterday, but I did not even miss that much because almost everybody was out in this game. Okay, all the starters were out on offense and defense. Justin Fields, all the receivers, all the starting offensive line, starting defense, everybody was out. I think the only starter that played in this game was Tyreek Stevenson, the rookie cornerback, and Jack Sanborn, who even Jack Sanborn is only going to be starting when we have three linebackers on the field. So, you know, it was a very uneventful game, I'd say, like in terms of like actual impact on the regular season, because none of these guys for the most part are going to be making a significant differences here. I mean, I shouldn't say that because guys like Roshan Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Jack Sanborn, obviously, like these guys are going to be playing good amount this year, I would say, but like most of the other guys are not going to be making any impact on the current team. Guys like Nathan Peterman, Doris Fountain, who Doris Fountain had a good game, don't get me wrong, but there's no chance he cracks the starting Bears rotation at receiver with all the talent we have. So like it's just, I'm not going to talk too much in this video because I don't want to waste you guys time and talk about stuff that doesn't really matter that much. So I will be talking about the stuff that does matter from this game, and I want to begin by talking about UDFA quarterback Tyson Bagent. I think is actually how you say his name. I've been saying it Bagent the entire time, but I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Bagent. Coming out of Shepherd, okay, Division II college, the all-time leading touchdown passer in Division II. This guy's college tape was really damn solid, but the only knock against him was that he went to a Division II college, which, you know, the competition there obviously is not anywhere close to what it's going to be like in the NFL. But so far, guys, in camp and preseason, especially after this game, I really think he could be making a push for that QB2 job. And I know it's only preseason going up against backups, so you never want to overreact too much to these types of games, but PJ Walker had the same offensive line, the same receivers as Tyson Bagent did, and he did way worse in this game than Tyson Bagent did. Now, PJ Walker had a much smaller sample size, but still, like, Walker was not accurate with the football. He was much slower in his decision-making process. He was much slower to release the ball compared to Tyson Bagent, who is a rookie quarterback that, you know, has not had the playing time in the NFL that PJ Walker had. I mean, it's kind of eye-opening, honestly. Like, it's not even this game only. Like, the entire preseason, PJ Walker has not looked good at all. We've been getting so many reports about him throwing multiple interceptions, you know, making bad decisions, and just not looking like a decent backup quarterback. So why should that job not be up for grabs, especially after, you know, Bagent had a pretty good day again today. So reading his stats in this game, he went 9 for 10 for 76 passing yards, pass rating of 98.3, and he had a rushing touchdown too, in which, you know, he looked a lot more athletic than I feel like people give him credit for. I did not know he was that athletic as a runner. He's obviously not like Justin Fields, not even close, but he's got wheels, you know, enough wheels to escape the pocket when need be. And talking about what I saw in his, you know, on those two drives that he played, I saw a passer making very quick decisions and getting rid of the ball super fast and being very accurate with the ball too in the middle of the field, which very impressive for a rookie quarterback. I mean, I also saw him throwing on the run and being very accurate on the run. There was a play where he rolled out, I think it was to his left, wherever it was, and he threw a dime ball on the run, you know, in a very tight window, which was a pretty impressive throw. And there was like a bunch of other throws in this game where he was fitting balls into places where, like, it was pretty impressive, like, especially for a rookie quarterback. He didn't make any wow throws going down the field, like any big plays, big chunk plays down the field, but you can win many games in this league by just being a dink and dunk type of passer, and he does seem to kind of have that Brock Purdy type of style to his game where he could be a decent game managing quarterback if you have a good supporting cast around him. I'm not sure how high his ceiling actually is going to be, because just like a Brock Purdy, like, he does not have the upside to be like a superstar quarterback in this league. But man, I'm telling you, this kid was confident out there working that short passing game. The screen passes were on point, the short slants were on point. Everything was looking really, really good from this kid. So if it was up to me, man, this guy would be the backup quarterback behind Justin Fields, because I don't know what to think about PJ Walker at this point. He's had a pretty poor camp, a pretty poor preseason showing too. I know he has like actual games played in the NFL, which does make a big difference, because sometimes you do need that, veteran in the locker room, veteran quarterback. But in terms of like their actual play, I would much rather prefer, taking a swing on a guy like Tyson Bagent than, waiving him and potentially risking him be picked up by another team, when we're trying to get him on practice squad. Like, I don't think he's going to be clearing waivers if we do waive him at this point with how much he's shown so far in camp and preseason games. So, pretty cool stuff, because honestly, like, a lot of Bears fans have always wanted the type of quarterback, the developmental project quarterback, to be a QB2, QB3, which, Ryan Pace never really gave us. We had guys like Tyler Bray on the roster for so long, but Tyler Bray never had, there was nothing there ever. You could tell from the beginning. But at least Tyson Bagent, okay, all-time leading touchdown passer in Division II, at least he was really good at what he did in college football. The only thing was he played against bad competition, but so far, it has looked pretty good in the NFL. Going up against backups too, so like, again, don't go crazy with this. Don't anoint him QB1 after going up against backups and looking pretty good, but pretty encouraging stuff out of the rookie quarterback. But then talking about the rest of the game, again, there's not too much to talk about, because a lot of these guys are not going to be making any sort of impact next season. Guys like Doris Fountain, Robert Burns, Isaiah Ford, Nasimba Webster, who are all the leading, receivers and rushers in this game. Like, they're obviously not going to be even making this roster probably. So I'm not going to talk about those guys really, but I do want to talk about Roschon Johnson again. Okay, you guys know I'm high on Roschon Johnson. I've been talking this guy up the entire offseason after we drafted him, and he had another pretty fantastic showing in this game. He had 7 carries for 32 rushing yards, average of 4.6 yards per carry. And man, this guy is a grinder, okay? Tough, physical, hard-nosed football player, which he's kind of like an old school back, okay? He's going to do all the dirty work for you. He can also pass protect pretty well. His abilities as a receiver too have been on display the last couple of games. He had he only caught like a screen pass, I believe, in this game, but caught that screen pass, made it go for like about 10 yards, and he is never going to lose yardage either. I mean, that's the thing I love about this guy. Like, he's never going to be falling backwards or whatever. Like, almost every single run, he's going to be falling forward, getting a few extra yards after contact, and those little yards, those extra yards help out a lot during the course of a game, especially when you're trying to get that first down or trying to get that touchdown. So, big fan of Roschon Johnson. Working behind a backup offensive line, he's still showing a lot of flashes of potential. I'm just wondering what he's going to show working behind the starting offensive line if he ever gets the chance to do that this season, which I do believe he will, because he is that damn talented. The Bears' backfield, honestly, man, is completely stacked behind, Khalil Herbert, who led the NFL in yards per carry last year. We got Deontay Foreman, who also had almost a 1,000-yard season with the Panthers last year. We also got a very talented young back in Roschon Johnson. So this run game, man, which was the best in football last year, could be even better this year. Even if we're not running for as many yards, it could be even more efficient and more explosive this year with, adding a guy like Roschon Johnson. So, really good game out of him. Talking about some guys on defense, Tyreek Stevenson, I do want to talk about him because he had a play that should have been an interception. So he went up to intercept the ball in the end zone, but he let the ball slip right through his hands somehow, and it goes past him into the arms of a Colts defender for the touchdown. So that was a bit of a slip up, a bit of a, mistake. But aside from that, obviously Tyreek Stevenson has shown a lot of flashes of potential this preseason and camp period. But it is going to be a learning experience for him too, because rookie cornerbacks in this league do often struggle at the beginning of their career. So don't expect it to be perfect for Stevenson right away, but there is a lot to like in him too, because he does have the ability to make plays, especially, against the run. So he's going to be a physical, hard-hitting cornerback. The question is, how is he going to do in coverage, holding up down the field? So that was a missed opportunity. Another missed opportunity was Gervon Dexter almost getting a sack. He had a nice move on the inside to get past the guard there. And, he got to the quarterback, but he flew past the quarterback. I think it was Gardner Minshew then, and could not get that sack there. So in the future, hopefully he's able to wrap up better around the quarterback and actually bring them down. But I do love that pressure that Gervon Dexter got on that play, because it kind of shows you the raw potential this guy has, which if coached up properly, he could be a superstar in this league. And that's not even exaggerating as a Bears fan. He literally has that ceiling as a player, but the lows of his game are also pretty low. Like, he stands up straight sometimes too often. He still has that get off issue, which, a little bit slow reacting to the ball being snapped. That has been a thing sometimes this preseason. So it's going to be interesting to see like how fast he can adjust to the NFL game. But if he does adjust well, he could be a damn good player for the Bears really, really quickly in his career, I would hope. So, pretty good flashes out of Gervon Dexter. We also saw Zach Pickens snuff out a screen pass, which he was pretty fast with the ball on. So good play recognition there. But aside from those plays, like, I don't have any other notes from this game. I did, I watched the majority of this game, obviously on replay, but, like, I don't have any other major takeaways because, again, a lot of these guys are not going to be mattering that much. I do want to talk about Terrell Lewis, actually. Okay, Terrell Lewis did have a strip sack in this game, which the Colts actually recovered back, but man, Terrell Lewis has been showing a lot so far in camp, and I do think he's shown enough to at least be ahead of Rasheem Green on the depth chart, which I'm not sure why Rasheem Green is ahead of him at all at this point, with, Green not really doing much of anything of note so far in camp or in the preseason game. So, man, Terrell Lewis, the 52 out there, reminding me so much of Khalil Mack with that speed off the edge. Obviously, going up against backup offensive tackles, I'm not going to go crazy on this, but as a depth option at edge, maybe he could be making a few plays for the Bears this season. But that's the end of the video, guys. Again, a pretty short video because I just don't want to waste your guys' time and talk about Doris Fountain or Nathan Peterman, because obviously we know they're not going to be mattering too much this season. No disrespect to them, obviously, but it's just the facts. Like, obviously this season is about Justin Fields, it's about Chase Claypool, it's about Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds. These guys did not play in this game. I think they might play in the next game, maybe like a quarter, maybe like a half, just to get them, ready for the regular season, to not have them be too rusty in week one. But at the same time, I also could see them sitting again, because there's only so much you can gain in a preseason game. It's vanilla offense versus vanilla defense. No side is trying to show their cards, play their cards too much in a game that doesn't matter. So, I'm not going to be too mad if they sit again in a game that does not matter at all. These games are more for the backups to, see who's going to make the team at the very ends of the depth chart. So, hope you guys enjoyed the game. Leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about this game? Are there any major takeaways that I missed? Let me know down below. As always, guys, bear down.